Hey all, I hope you hear me. Let's just wait a few moments. I'm gonna post a link to this webinar in the forum and on Skype so others can join. I'll be right back. You can say hello in the chat if you're here, and we're gonna start in a few minutes. So we're gonna start with a brief info on binaryoptions.suck.com and CommuniTraders before I get started with other stuff. So let's just wait a couple more minutes and then we're gonna start. So if you have joined already, just type in the chat, live chat here, and then afterwards you can ask questions too. If you have any questions at all, just type them, I will address them. Right, guys, we're just gonna wait 1 more minute before we start. You can look at my charts while you wait. Can tell you about the 2 trades I took while we wait for others to join. So as you can see, we have the Euro USD, have the Euro USD chart here. Okay guys, I have the Euro USD charts here, and I took a few trades today before, and as you can see here, we're on the 1 minute chart. But the first thing I did today was to draw a line here. So I'm just showing you this while we wait for others to join before we start the webinar. This might be good for you to learn something here as well. So I drew a line here. As you can see, we got a pattern here. Looks like a triangle shape. I'm going to talk about how to place shapes, also about MetaTrader in a moment. So as you can see, here, this line got crossed, it got pushed down here when the hourly candle, the pin bar here, you can see the push down. So I went to the 5 minutes and I saw it retraced back, so it broke the line, retraced back to it, and I placed a put option. It was about 14 minutes exactly, and then I got a second entry here on this candle here. Let's see, on this one I was going to place a trade here, then this candle fell, so I didn't, and then I was lucky because it came back up again, gave me a second chance to enter, so I entered here. This time only 10 minutes, about 10 minutes. I was also going to take a trade here, but I didn't. I was a little bit unsure if it would continue up or if it would stop here. I was thinking originally maybe a 10-minute put option here, but I didn't. Already taken 2 trades. Quite satisfied for the day. We're gonna start. I think everyone who wanted to join, they're here, and if people couldn't make it, they can watch this offline afterwards. This video will be available on our YouTube channel, so you can just subscribe and watch anytime you like. So let's start with intro webinar, which is here. I've got binary options that suck. So if you're new, you don't know too much about us, we are a community here. We expose scams, we review brokers, and share news about binary options in general. And if you go to the site, what I recommend for beginners is, first of all, go through the school, because it's gonna answer a lot of standard questions. So the answers are already there in articles that are explained, like how much you should start with, demo, account managers, brokers, even more advanced stuff like technical analysis. And then once you've got some experience, you go check out the recommended brokers also. You can read about them, read the reviews, click the reviews, you can compare them, read the comments. You can also ask other traders, so obviously you should become a member in the forum as well, and it's free, so you can use our trading platform. I already explained how to use that in another video, so you can just look for the CommuniTraders demo on our channel, and I have explained how to take trades, so you can practice while you read in our school. So you can advance that way, and you can join other traders who share their trades here, or go to the trading diaries and see which strategies other people use and how they take their trades, and get feedback from others. And you can discuss brokers if you wish. If you haven't decided yet on which broker to choose, you can go and ask other traders in the forum. And obviously there are multiple platforms out there, different broker platforms. For example, 24 Options uses Tech Financials, looks like this. You can go high, low, or short term, which is from 60 seconds and 2 minutes and 5 minutes, or one touch boundary. So different types of options. They're also explained in the school and in forum. So basically you choose expiry, as you can see here, every 5 minutes, and so on. So expiries are added as time moves forward. You get more expiries, and quite good payouts. It's the standard account. Me personally, I get 86% on the Euro USD because I have upgraded to a VIP account. So it's up to you if you want to do that later on, but there are higher payouts available, of course. And then you have, for example, the spot option. Obviously the Stockper has their own uniquely designed stock option platform, but originally it used to be a spot option platform. So they look a little bit different, but still the high and low platform looks pretty nice. Good payouts on the longer expiries, as you can see here. You get 83% for 90 days of expiry. That's pretty good. Then there are other uniquely designed platforms which the broker make themselves. So for example, like ARX, they're specialized in fast-paced trading, so fast platform, free demo account, as you can see here, very nice, uniquely designed platform. So as you can see, there are many platforms. Everyone comes with their own perks and their own advantages. Sometimes maybe it's better to have two platforms if you want to have both of the perks from multiple platforms, like doing fast trades, short-term trades, and demo on ARX, and live short-term trading, maybe because their platform is fast on ARX, and doing intraday on 24 Option. Maybe long-term is better for stock pair. So you can read the reviews and decide for yourself. And we can move on to back to my chart again. I'm going to ask you first, do you have any questions? Okay, if you don't have any questions, we move on to the charts here. First of all, I'm gonna clear something out. I know a lot of beginners might have these questions about charting. They don't understand charting. As you may have seen when we were on the brokers platforms, I'm gonna bring that back again. See here, for example, here you have the line charts. If you want to do technical analysis, it's going to be a bit difficult. They do, some brokers, they do allow you to use technical analysis. For example, here we have candlesticks, which is pretty good. On other brokers you might not have candlesticks, but on 24 Option you actually do. You have, if you click here, you get the charts. And you have some minor stuff you can do here, but overall I think it's smart to use a third part platform like, for example, Netania, Free Stock Charts, Thinkorswim, or MetaTrader, which is the most popular one, because you can customize, you can download a lot of indicators. There are lots and lots of indicators that come with the platform itself. You got also lots of tools, and overall it's kind of easy to use. And also you can compare your price, you can compare your charts with the brokers, and I think that's a good thing to do. You should always you shouldn't just rely on the brokers data. You should also see a different perspective from a different source. Now obviously the first thing you should know about charting is that all brokers, all charts will differ. So there is no standard asset price. Okay, so you might go to MetaTrader and you see, for example, this price like 1074 or something like that, and then on your broker it might be 41. So it might be 1 or 2 pip or difference, but that's okay. I mean, if the difference is small, like 1 pip, 2 pips, that's pretty good. But if it's too big, it could be difficult to trade. You might not want to trade when you're signed up to you have a chart where your difference is too big. You can deal with that. I mean, if you have a MetaTrader, you can just connect to another demo account. For example, here I have Alpari demo, and it's pretty good, works pretty good with my account on 24 option at least. Difference is usually 1 pip, sometimes 1.5 pip, so that's acceptable, no problem there. And these demo accounts that you connect to, these are forex brokers, so they have nothing to do with binary options. You don't connect to your own binary options broker, you connect to a forex broker, but it's just a demo, so it's free. So all you have to do is to just, when you install MetaTrader, you can open an account. So click open an account, and then you can just search for different brokers. You can scan, or you can type, you can add. So you can type, for example, or Alpari, or you can Google other brokers, forex brokers, and then type their name, and then go next, and then select demo. So it's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. You just have to provide an email address and select a password, and then you will see that you're connected. Your charts start to move. You can see that under status. Let's see here if I have the status bar down below. So it also gives you sound when you're connected. Here you can see that you're connected to this server, and if you hover your mouse, it says connection status. So this is connected. You can see it's moving, the numbers are moving, so always check that, and also check your chart to see it's moving, then you know you're connected. And compare it to your broker, see how big the differences are, and if it's again within a couple of pips, that's pretty good. If you prefer a web-based platform, go with Netania, or as I said, Thinkorswim, Free Stock Charts. I prefer Netania for the online charts. I also use it on my mobile phone. Any questions for now before we move on? Also, if you have any questions, again, we can take them later, or you can just type your question and I will try to remember and answer you as soon as I can. So just leave a comment in the live chat. If you're watching this after we are already offline, you can still type your questions in the comments below, or you can come to the forum, CommuniTraders forum, and ask there. So if we go to MetaTrader, first thing you want to do is to have a clean chart, because you want to focus on candlestick analysis, you want to focus on technical analysis. If you can't do technical analysis, you're not going to be a good trader, because simply following a couple of indicators is not going to work for you. We will talk about this in the future webinars as well, but for now let's focus on the MetaTrader itself. First time you come in to MetaTrader, it's going to be a bit of a mess. You're going to have the market watch here, the status here. So remove as much you can, because you don't need you need as much space as you can get on the screen for your charts. So don't place an indicator like this and cover half of your charts. That's not going to be any good for your analysis. So make a clean chart, and then you have technical tools here above, for example horizontal lines, which you can use for placing support and resistance lines, like for example in this case here. Or you can also draw trend lines connecting highs and lows, and that is where price action analysis come in. You can learn that from some of my videos. And I have a question about brokers when it comes to US traders. And yeah, obviously the right choice for US citizens is to go with Nadex. That's regulated in the US, and it's scam free, because the regulated good brokers in the EU, they don't provide services in the US. So if you find someone telling you to go with this binary options broker for the US, I would do some research to see if they're actually good. I see some channels send people to scam brokers, US clients to scam brokers, and just because they accept US brokers doesn't mean they're good. So you have to be careful about that. So yeah, for US traders I would suggest Nadex, nothing else. And you can read about that in our forum and on binaryoptions.suck.com. We have articles about Nadex, step-by-step guide on Nadex, so you can check those out. So moving on with the charts, again the most important tools: support, resistance line, and the trend line, as I said. And once you learn how to place them, based on the other videos, as I said, you can learn how to draw trend lines and support resistance. I have explained those in detail, and this is how I think every trader should start. You should learn about support, resistance line, and drawing trend lines. If you can do that, you're gonna come a long way on your own, instead of just bringing up some strategy where it says jump into a trade based on these 3, 4, 5 indicators. Those things might work for a while, but then you're gonna run into a lot of losses because you don't know what you're doing. You don't have an understanding of support, resistance lines, breakouts, retracements. Like in this case, with my 2 trades, I only needed this one line here to take 2 trades. Pretty simple, but pretty advanced to the unused, to the beginner trader who's not used to reading charts. So another thing that's very helpful is templates. So you can right click, you can save your template. For example, I have customized the colors here for my own taste, and then I save the template. I go to templates, and then I save the template, and then you can load this on other charts as well. So even your trend lines and support resistance lines can be saved if you wish. You can save those, but then you can only upload them on the same asset. You cannot use the same lines on another asset. So just make sure when you save the template, you name it for the asset that you saved it for, unless it's just an empty platform, in which case just the colors are being saved, and that's okay. Or the indicator, for that matter, that can also be transferred. I get a question about FiboPiv, which is an indicator that draws support resistance lines. FiboPiv version 2, I used to use that in my earlier days. It was a good indicator before I learned to draw my own lines. So the question is if it's as accurate as drawing yourself. I mean, for a beginner, I would say it's probably more accurate than how a beginner draws his lines. But for me personally, no, I prefer to draw my own lines. I find my own lines being more accurate than anything else. My own trend lines and support resistance line, my own multi-time frame analysis. So I prefer that over any indicator or automatically drawn line. But if you're a beginner, you have no understanding of support resistance lines, you're going to be confused where to put your lines. FiboPiv is actually good. You can read about it in the forums. Sorry, on the binaryoptions.suck.com. You can just check out, just search for Fibonacci or FiboPiv, and you're going to see articles about that. So it basically draws, I think it was 6 lines and one middle line, which is a pivot line, which is the average price. So the pivot line is actually very strong in that indicator. It's pretty good. So you should use that as some sort of guide until you can draw your own lines. Any other questions? When it comes to indicators, I'm gonna talk about something simple here. When you go to indicators, you have oscillators. These are usually the up and down indicators, up and down going indicators. So they oscillate going up and down. For example, the RSI here and the stochastic. I usually suggest you use one oscillator. So I mean, it's no use to plot 3-4 oscillators. It's better to just use one, otherwise you're going to confuse yourself. 2 oscillators, one saying up, one saying down. It's going to be confusing, so better you get used to using one of them. Usually I prefer RSI or stochastic. Just a quick tip, if there is anything wrong with the video or quality, you can either refresh or you can use the quality. You can change the quality of the video. You can change to HD, so you're probably watching a low quality and that's why it's blur if it is, if there are any issues. So just change the quality to HD and let me know if it's working. Okay, so oscillators, just gonna mention this before we wrap this up for this time about oscillators. So most traders see oscillators as overbought and oversold, which is it's correct that when price is overbought we think that it might go down, and then if it's oversold it might turn and go up. Like in this case, my second trade here, stochastic, happened to be overbought, but that's not the only case. For example, here you see the RSI wasn't at the overbought position, but rather below 50. So these are the various uses on oscillators. They don't always have to be overbought or oversold. Those aren't the only ways you can trade. You should focus more on the price action, and the oscillators also tell you about the direction, about the strength, and also show you about divergence and convergence, which is, for example, we have divergence of time frames. For example, stochastic can be overbought on 5-minute charts, on 15-minute charts, half an hour charts. So when they are overbought on several different time frames, you have what we call convergence. So the asset is most likely to change direction when you have a convergence rather than having divergence. Usually when you have divergence, for example, one time frame is overbought, another one is oversold, another one is 50-50, and so on. When it's a mix, Usually you might see that price is actually in an area where it might be breaking out or changing direction, or it's indecisive, so you have to be careful. And as I said, focus on drawing support resistance lines, the two of the most simplest tools. You find them up here. You can customize the lines, you can change their colors, thickness. They're pretty good and still pretty simple, but it's like an art. It takes time to master how to put them properly. And you can learn from my previous videos on how to draw them. Any questions for now? Okay, so I'm gonna mention one last thing before we end this webinar. If you guys happen to join now, you can look back, you can look at this webinar from the start. We can also change the quality to HD, and we will do future webinars, so don't worry. We will follow up, we will talk about other things like fundamental analysis in the future, more about price action and technical analysis as well. And I will also always talk about the brief info about CommuniTraders, so if you're new, you can always get the info on how and where to get started in our forums and on the website of binaryoptions.suck.com. So before we wrap this up, another tool I want to show, which is the more advanced tool. Those are the shapes. These are the triangle one, and the rectangle is they're my favorites. So I think I showed you before here. For example, you can use the shape to identify areas where you can see triangles, for example, like in this case. But the important thing is to focus on support resistance lines, and then you will see that sometimes there will be shapes like in this case, and you can use these shapes to understand where the market is going, where are the likely support resistance areas. So you might see the asset to either keep trending inside this shape, or it might break out, continue. If it fails, it might come down for support again. If it breaks this area, it might retrace up, fail, move down. So it's good to have an idea of where it's going, where it might be going. So trading is obviously a game of probabilities, but if you know how to do these kind of analyses, you might have a better chance of succeeding. So any other questions? Exactly, that was a triangle on the hourly, but you can get triangles on the 5-minute chart, you can get them on the 1-minute chart, you can get them on any charts, basically monthly, daily, it doesn't matter. You can see them, the same patterns can occur anywhere. So you have to train your eyes, and as I said, just focus on support resistance lines. You can see here EUR/USD is back again on where I took my put option. So again, this could be an opportunity for a put option, but be careful. Usually when an area is getting retested several times, I tend to be more careful because eventually it can break out. And if we look at the EUR/USD, I mean, it's still in an uptrend. Overall, it's gaining strength against the US dollar, so should be careful. And there are other things like currency correlation and such. I get a question about how many trades I do a day. This is a common question. I mean, the thing is that I could do 100 trades if I wanted to, if I give you a good answer. I could do 100 trades, 200 trades, but I don't do that. Sometimes I do 0, sometimes I do 5, sometimes I do 2, like today. So it depends on how much time I have, if I feel for it. Depends on many things, but if I could sit here all day and if I felt for it, yeah, I could probably do lots and lots of trades on shorter time frames, like 5 minutes and 1 minute charts. But I prefer to do a couple of good ones. So as I do trade on a bigger account, I don't need to do that many trades. I don't need to do 50 trades to have a decent amount for a withdrawal. A few trades is usually good, and then I can withdraw. So, but don't let that be confining you into on how to take your trades. You can do whatever amount of trades you wish, based on whatever time frames you wish, based on whatever expires you wish. So all you have to do is to read the charts the right way, and then you can trade exactly whatever you want. So the method works regardless of what approach you want to take. All you have to learn is the price action. Just read the charts and be able to draw a conclusion, where is it going on different time frames. And then I get a question about when to enter the trades. It's a good question. It's a more advanced question about entries, how to enter trade. The best example, I have some examples in my other videos about when I executed. You can see the price. I show you exactly where I entered and when it expired. For me personally, I like to have leverages on my trades. For example, the two trades here, let's see here, I removed the arrows, but I think it was this candle and also this one here. Usually I prefer to enter at the touches, as you can see, because I want the in this case I wanted to take put options, so I wanted the highest possible entry. If I waited and I entered here, would have been a tight trade, because this one, for example, expired, I think it was on this candle here. So if I waited a 5 minute candle, that would have been a tighter trade. But in this case I saw the first candle getting pushed down, the second one was also getting pushed down. I had a feeling it might come up. I actually wanted to enter at the top here, but I entered anyway. I thought I'd give it enough time for it to manage to come down in case it would go up, and it actually did go up. The second one, as I said before in the beginning of the video, I wanted to enter up here, but then this one continued going down, so I didn't want to enter here. I lost a little bit of leverage. I didn't want to enter, but then I was lucky because it came back a second time, and then I entered on this one. But if you're using higher time frames, usually I like to wait for the candles to close, get some confirmation. But on the short term, when you're trading short term, I think it's more crucial to getting on a good leverage. If you wait too long, you might get caught up in a reversal. So that's why I prefer to getting at the touches. But usually, as you can see, in this case I waited after this candle was pushed down a little bit. I still had good leverage. It's about leverage, really. Any other questions? I can answer one more question and then we'll wrap it up. Also, again, subscribe and watch the playlist, the price action playlist. I have explained many examples of trades I have taken before and recently, and I analyze them, show you how I enter the trades. You can learn more from them also. And I got another question about the time frame. I think you missed the beginning of the webinar. If you look at the beginning of the webinar, I explained which time frames I looked at. In this case, I always look at different time frames. I don't just open my charts and I say, oh, okay, I'm gonna jump into a trade. I never do that. in this case I went to the hourly, not just hourly by accident, but I went to different time frames. I went to the 5-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute. On the hourly it looked really good because I got the price at the moment was actually here, but then an hour later I saw this huge pin bar trade, this candle coming down on the hourly, so I went down. My first thought was, should I jump into a call option here? But then I remembered we have a big pin bar, big bearish candle coming down, so I thought that no, that would not be wise decision to jump in a call option here, so I rather wait. And I didn't jump in a put option either because you don't know if it's going to reverse before it continues down. So as I said, I love to get in on places where I have leverage. So in this case I just had to wait, and patience is very important when you trade. So I waited, price came back, and then I went to the 1 minute to see where exactly I could enter, and I saw that on the 5-minute, a good retracement back up to my trend line, and I thought, maybe this was just a fake breakout, it's gonna go up again, I don't know that. But then again I look at the 30-minute time frame, I see a big drop, this candle closing below the trend line. Even on the 15-minute, very good movement down, and previous history dropping. So after this candle was pushed down, that was good confirmation for me to enter a trade. So as you can see, I do multiple analyzes on different time frames. So multi-time frame analyzes, I don't just open my charts on one time frame and jump in. You can never do that because you don't know what's going on. You have to check back, you have to check out, look at the bigger picture. Is it an uptrend, downtrend? But as I said, the main trend seems to be up for Euro USD. It's channeling up, you can see that. It's trending up, but this is just a retracement down for now. I think that answered the question from the second question I got about where I place support resistance lines. So again, you have to look at different time frames, see where you get the most confirmation, like candlesticks, number of touches, and how well they are in an area. I mean, for example, this one I didn't really need to go to other time frames. I saw that on the 5-minute here based on previous recent price, so I didn't need to go to hourly 30-minute to see that we have support resistance here as well. I could just see it here, but I didn't take this one. I was worried it might come back up, and as you can see, it would have been a little bit tricky. It might have been able to pull a 10-minute trade here, but would have been a close one, so was a good decision not taking that one. Okay, so thanks everyone. Thank you for your questions. I hope to see you in future webinars. I try to do one per month. So I will see you in the forums if you have more questions. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks again.